I wish I didn't have to do this, but I'm going to. There's a classroom in Nova Scotia. Allegedly, there's like 11-year-olds in this classroom, and there's a book in the classroom that teaches them all about transphobia, what it means to be transphobic, how to tell if you are transphobic. I think that 11-year-olds by nature aren't transphobic. They're just judgmental. But anyways, in this book, it was reported by LifeSite News that the Nova Scotian children were being taught that it's transphobic to be even called transphobic. If someone accuses you of transphobia, the book says you are transphobic. It's also transphobic, apparently, to express concern about old men being in your bathroom when you're a girl. So I'm going to go get a copy of this book, and we're going to have a little fireside story time where we'll go through the book and we'll go through the quiz and see if I'm transphobic, and you can see if you're transphobic. It'll be exciting. So let's go grab a copy. Hey guys, got the book. I'm excited to read it to you. I'll just move my biology textbooks out of the way for this one. Let's get started. I'm excited. I don't know about you. So here's the cover. Transphobia, how to deal with it. There's a quiz in here that 11-year-old kids in Nova Scotia were taking. It was in their classroom. And it tells 11-year-old kids whether or not they're transphobic. It says don't use the word tranny, really. All right, I found the quiz. Here it is. Are you transphobic? A quiz for children. You don't even know anyone who's trans, it writes. And if you did, you wouldn't be phobic or afraid of them, but think about how your assumptions and stereotypes cause hurt and upset others. Take this quiz to see how you measure up. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I know that there's no way to come out on the other end without being labeled transphobic, so let's just have some fun and take the quiz anyways. Start with question 1. I think there's only 2 genders and you're born into one or the other. Well, that's low-hanging fruit. True. Question 2. To be respected, girls should look and act like girls, and boys should look and act like boys. Look, I think that respect is something that is earned, and I think that the SJW who wrote this book is projecting just a little bit here. If you're too much of an insufferable SJW for people to like you, I think that's your own problem. True. Question 3. If you can't tell if someone's a man or a woman, it really bothers you. Well, I'm going to say true. And honestly, I think it bothers everyone. Even creepy activists, creepy queer activists on TED Talks are weirded out by themselves.
It's a girl! Ugh.
Question 4. I don't think it's possible for people to be a gender other than male and female. Well, there's all of these MCAT textbooks saying one thing, saying there's only 2 genders, and then there's one dumpy Bill Nye episode saying otherwise. So I'm going to go with true. There's only 2 genders. Question 5. I think that toys and clothing can be categorized as boys and girls. Yeah, true. I do. Walmart does it all the time, and you're not going to stop me. 6. I've seen kids being picked on for being a sissy boy or a tom girl and said nothing. You know what? I was picked on in high school quite a lot when I was a kid, and I thank my bullies. They made me less weird. I'm glad they did. Toughened me up a little bit. Question 7. I try to conform to gender stereotypes. Yeah, that one's true. See, I think that it's rude. I'm big-brained progressive, so I think that it's quite rude to appropriate the culture of women. So I try to only dabble in the culture of my assigned gender. I think it's only fair. Question 8. I think it's okay to make fun of people who don't conform to gender stereotypes. Well, you know what? I think it's okay to make fun of anyone and anything. Change my mind. True. Question 9. I won't use an all-gendered washroom. This is false. I use all-gendered washrooms all the time. You know those single toilet bathrooms? They're great. As long as the lock is big enough that Tiffany Moore isn't going to barge in and break down the wall, you know, I'll use it fine. False. Question 10. I wouldn't have a trans friend. No, that's false. I think that would be ridiculous. I do have a trans friend, actually. She has the largest niche firearm collection of this particular type of firearm in the whole world. I think it's pretty cool. I think she's a cool gal, and I'm happy to know her. So that's false. Yeah, I would say that's false. Question 11. There's nothing I can do about transphobia. Yeah, true. Question 12. I've been accused of transphobia. This is a quiz to determine whether or not you are transphobic. And one of the questions is, have you been accused of transphobia? They're saying that all it takes to be transphobic is for someone, presumably an angry SJW, mad at some sort of well-meaning regular person, all they have to do is accuse them of being transphobic and boom. You know, actually, I'm going to say false on this one though, because I don't think I've ever actually been accused of being transphobic. That's an interesting little factoid there, I think. Question 13, I think the sight of a man in a dress is funny. Yeah, I do. And if you don't, or say that you don't, you're lying. Quit it. True. Question 14, I've laughed at jokes about trans people. Yeah, I laugh at a lot of jokes. And spoiler alert, even trans people laugh at jokes about transgender issues. It's just a human thing to do. And putting transgender people in a special little box, saying you can't make fun of them, frankly, it's dehumanizing. Everyone has the right to be made fun of. It's just part of being human. Question 15, I've told jokes about trans people. Well, you know what? I've told jokes about Islam, Christians, and white people, and that doesn't make me an Islamophobe, a Christianophobe, or a Caucasianophobe. Humor is just, it's a human trait, and I don't think that it's an offense, at least not yet. I won't use they or them as a pronoun for one person. That's question 16. Yeah, you know what? I refuse to use vague plural words to save liberals the inconvenience of being triggered. Question 17, I challenge anyone I think might be in the wrong washroom for their sex. No, you know, that's false, generally speaking. Most people are mentally developed adults, so it's not really a big deal for them, even if it is a little bit weird. Unlike social justice warriors who are confrontational about everything, the majority of people aren't. Question 18, if someone asks me for directions to the washroom, I only tell them how to get to the one I think is right for them. God, the author of this children's book is really reaching here. I don't think I've ever been asked by a vaguely gendered individual where the bathroom is, and if I did, I would tell them where the bathrooms are. They're usually right next to each other. This author's just reaching, and it's frustrating. I'm getting angry. Question 19, trans people shouldn't be teachers or work with children. Do I think Rain Dove is fit to teach my future children?
My name is Rain Dove. I'm a model activist, actor.
No, I don't. But to be fair, I also don't want creepy Joe next to my little sisters. Question 20, I have the right to judge people. Yeah, that's true. I wake up in the morning judging people, I drink whiskey judging people, I eat lunch judging people, and I go to sleep judging people, and nobody's gonna stop me. Even the United Nations says that I'm allowed to, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Question 21, I don't think that trans women and trans girls should be able to use a washroom with other women and girls. True, sue me. Question 22, I don't think trans women should be able to compete in women's sports. You know what? True, I'm on team second wave feminist here. I think that women fought for their own sports leagues. You don't have to go ruin it for them. There was that guy in Texas who won 2 annual wrestling championships in a row. And they don't think there's a problem with this? All right, I'm getting, frankly, really tired of this, so we're gonna do a lightning round. Question 23, I don't think the term women includes trans women. Yeah, true. You owe it to your grade 6 English teacher to be precise, be precise. Call people what they are. Trans woman is a trans woman. 24, I think that people who are transitioning should always take hormones. False. Do what you want, I don't care. Just don't make me pay for it. 25, I think that people who are transitioning should always have surgery. False. See above. Question 26, I think that if you were born with a certain body, it's wrong to change it. Again, See above. False. Question 27. I think gender affirmation surgery, used to be called a sex change or sex reassignment surgery, should be paid for by the person, not by society. True. Of course you should pay for it yourself. I think you should pay for most things yourself when they're voluntary. Question 28. If I see or hear people being transphobic, I don't do or say anything. Yeah, that's true. I'm not a constable with the thought police. Question 29. I don't think we should be learning about sex and gender in school. False. I took advanced genetics in university, and I'm glad I did. It usually weeds out social justice warriors, or at least teaches them a thing or two about the real world. I think it's important to learn about things in school. It just has to be taught in the right way. So that's false. Question 30, and this is the last one. I think there are more trans people because kids are learning about sex and gender too young. You know what? I'm not sure about this one. I would have to see some data to back up an opinion. I'm leaning towards true. I think that if you teach kids that it's cool to cut off your junk, there's going to be more incidents of junk getting cut off. So there you go. What does that put me at? We'll do the math on the screen. That makes me 66.5% transphobic. Isn't that amazing? I wonder what the kids who took this in an elementary school got as answers. There was that one question about being accused of being transphobic, making you transphobic. I don't get social justice warriors. I'm not going to pretend that I understand them. But now you know. You can take the quiz yourself and tell me in the comments below whether or not you turned out to be transphobic. I assume you are. Let me know. For the Rebel.media, I'm Kean Bexty. Hey, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below whether or not you are transphobic. I'm sure if you took the same test as I am, somehow you are. Whether or not you thought that in the past is irrelevant, but even if you've just been accused of transphobia, you're a transphobe. Thanks for watching.